welcome back to Ashar Books. I'm here today to do my July Part 1 wrap-up because it's almost the middle of the month already. So this month I've read a lot of Kindle books. I'm not sure why, it's just been a really Kindle heavy month so far, which is cool. So I just wanted to mention that because I'm probably gonna just show you the cover really quick and then go ahead and put it down just so it doesn't kind of mess up everything. So having said that, let's go ahead and get started. So the first book I read this month was Tossed into Love by Aurora Rose Reynolds. This one was sent to me for review from NetGalley, and I really enjoyed this one. This one I gave 4 out of 5 stars, and I love Aurora's books. I've loved her for years, and what's her first series called? I can't remember, but it's the one with all of the girls' names in it. I absolutely adore that series, and it's so cute. So this one kind of follows a girl who's just kind of trying to figure herself out, and she's working at a beauty parlor, but she doesn't know if that's what she wants to do, but she's really good friends with the older couple that owns the pizza parlor that is down the street from them. They live in Brooklyn, I'm pretty sure it's Brooklyn. It's New York, but, and so it's about her and the son of that couple, and they're kind of enemies, I guess. He's just been really kind of rude to her. He's a firefighter. And basically the story follows them. She's kind of trying to figure out what she wants to do with her life, if she wants to stay as a beautician or not. And basically them kind of coming together and him kind of getting over himself, basically. But I really enjoyed it. It was a really cute contemporary. This one comes out in August. I'm pretty sure towards the beginning of August. And I would definitely recommend picking it up if you want a really cute contemporary. The next book I read was called Chasing Him, and that is by Kennedy Fox. So this is actually book 3 in the Bishop Brothers series. I'm gonna put this down now. So this book was book 3, but I really don't think you have to read the first 2 books. I mean, I'm sure they're great. I just personally haven't read them yet. I will say I read Kennedy Fox's other series, which was really great, and that's kind of why I picked this one up. But I'm not gonna lie, the real reason I picked up this one, which again was called Chasing Him, is because it's about a single dad, and I'm just a sucker for anything with a baby in it or a single dad. So this one basically is about a man who had a bit of it wasn't really a fling, it was just a short relationship kind of, and he didn't know that the woman was pregnant, and I will say this one really made sense, and it didn't make him seem like a complete man whore. But the baby, he eventually, a few months after the baby's born, the baby gets dropped off for him, and it's kind of out of nowhere. He had no idea, and it's about him and the person that they hired to help out, be the nanny. I know it sounds really cliche, and I was a little hesitant to go in, but I did give this one 4 out of 5 stars as well, and I really enjoyed it. It wasn't as cliche, and Kennedy Fox did a really good job of not making our main hero kind of, again, look like a bit of a douchebag. It really had a good explanation for why that happened. The baby in this is adorable. I loved our main character, our female main character, the nanny, because again, that wasn't your typical nanny. You know, she had a great personality, and it was just so cute. I loved it. So if you're a sucker like me for a baby in a book, check this one out. So the next one I read, I actually don't have because it was on Kindle Unlimited, which I'm pretty sure Chasing Him was also on Kindle Unlimited, in case you were wondering. But it's called Shameless King, and it's by Maya Hughes, and I give that one 4 out of 5 stars. I don't have the picture because I'm pretty sure I turned it in for Kindle Unlimited. If you don't know, for Kindle Unlimited, you can only have a certain amount of books out, and then you have to return them kind of like a library system. And so since I'd finished it, I'm pretty sure I went ahead and turned it in. So I don't have the cover, but it was really cute. It was a new adult kind of college romance. So if that's your speed, definitely check that out. And it was about a guy who's kind of the king of his high school on the hockey team, and the girl who was kind of the goody two shoes, super smart girl. And you meet them briefly in high school, and then it flashes forward to college, and it's not at the beginning of college, it's a couple years in. I think they're juniors when it starts. And basically it just gets to know our 2 characters and kind of have them fall in love. It was really cute, and it was a really well done sports kind of enemies to lovers romance if you're looking for one of those. I liked how they developed the hero and the heroine, because they weren't just your jock and your kind of nerdy girl. They had a lot more going on in their life that kind of explained why they were the way they were, if that makes sense. So again, I gave that one 4 out of 5 stars, and it was really fun. The next one I read this month so far was probably my favorite of the month so far, and that was, it was Culty by Mariana Zapata. This was fantastic. If you have not read this book, go do yourself a favor and read it, because I'd heard that from other people and I kind of just put it off. Not that I didn't want to read it, I just kind of hadn't got to it yet. I read one other of Mariana's books. I read From Lukov with Love a couple of months ago and I really liked it. But this one was even better. Kulti is fantastic. It's a soccer book, so if you're in like World Cup fever, I'm personally not really a huge soccer fan, but I can appreciate a good sports romance. So this one follows our main character, Sal, who is a female professional soccer player and one of the best characters I think I've ever read. She was just so relatable, so like empowering. Like, she's a female soccer player, she knows what she wants, she works hard to get there, and she's proud of that, you know. And I just loved it. I loved her family, they were wonderful. I love when you have a good family in a book. And then our main hero is Kulti, and he's basically a recently retired like soccer superstar, and everyone knows him. He's huge. Sal grew up kind of having this massive crush on him and like loving him. He's about 12 years older than her, so this is a bit of an age gap romance, but it really worked. And so, but something happened along the way that made her not love him anymore. He turns out to be one of the new assistant coaches for her team, and basically the story goes from there. This is a slow burn. Like, Mariana Zapata is known for her slow burns, and this is definitely a slow burn. So be prepared for that, because, you know, it takes a while to get to it, but you just really don't mind, because the storyline and Sal's story and, you know, Kulti's story along the way is so good. Also, the audiobook is fantastic. I highly recommend it. Oh, I gave that 5 out of 5 stars in case I forgot to say. Okay, the next 3 were actually books that were sent to me by Harlequin, so thank you so much, Harlequin, for sending me these. I absolutely loved reading them, and all of them were really wonderful books. So the first one is Making Up by Lucy Parker. I read Act Like It by Lucy Parker last month and really enjoyed it. This is book 3. I know I have to go back and read book 2, but I think it was okay. You know, it just spoiled a little bit of the coupling, but it was great. This is fantastic. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this. Basically, it follows Trix, who is an aerial acrobat and in London on the stage. And she is like this spunky, feisty, pink-haired girl, but she's kind of lost her self-confidence through a really bad breakup, through a really horrible person. And so she's trying to kind of find herself again, and she gets offered this kind of like job promotion, and she doesn't know if she should take it. And then our hero is Leo, who is a makeup artist, and the two of them kind of have a bit of a history from like years ago. And basically, it's just the two of them kind of coming together. And these characters Lucy Parker writes are just so well developed and really seem like they're real people. You feel like you're in London with them. I loved that it was about like acrobats and something a little different. I love that he was a makeup artist. It was so good. Check this one out. The next one I read was Tempting the Laird by Julia London. This is the only historical I've read so far, I think, this month, which is crazy. But I gave this one 4 out of 5. It was a really fun Highlander romance. Basically, it followed, what's her name? Yeah, Kat, who is about 30. She's kind of running a, a abbey for like women and children who don't have anywhere else to go. But she also really wants to get married. And then it follows our hero, who is, what is our hero's name? Hamlin. So Hamlin is a duke, but he's had a really kind of bad past because something happened with his ex-wife that basically people don't know if he killed her or not. So the two of them come together, and it was really cute. If you want a good Highlander romance, I definitely suggest this. It's my first Julia London, and I really enjoyed it. I liked Kat. I liked the struggle she kind of was in through, do I want to have this career as running an abbey, or do I want to find love and get married? I just feel like that's a really relatable problem for a lot of us, even in today. Society kind of, you know, what do you want to do with your future? And her and Hamlin just had such electricity between them. It was really fun. So check this one out. Gave it 4 out of 5. And the next one was When We Found Home by Susan Mallery. This is, believe it or not, my first Susan Mallery book, and I gave it 5 out of 5. I loved this. So basically, this is about family. We have our 3 main characters who find out at the beginning of the book that they're related, and they had no idea their entire life. 2 of our main characters are adults. They're 26 and 30 something, and then our 3rd character is Kira, and she's 12. So basically, their grandfather moves them into this big house to kind of figure each other out and figure out what family is. I loved this. It was one of those books that when I read it, I wasn't sure if it would be my cup of tea, but it was so good. I loved the idea that family comes in all shapes and sizes, and kind of finding who you are. All three characters were really well fleshed out, with really interesting, intricate backstories, and there's also two really adorable romances that run throughout this book. If you already like Susan Mallery, or if you just really want a really fun summer contemporary that has just a lot of heart, definitely check this one out. And the last three books I read were all in the same series, and that was the Vampire Royals books by Lee Walker. And the first one's called The Pageant, so I'll kind of talk about that one. I did read the first three so far, but I don't want to spoil anything. So this series basically is like The Selection, but with vampires. So it's set in like a futuristic future, and basically there's been a war, people are really struggling, there's not enough food. It's kind of like the Hunger Games do, because it's set into like different like districts. But then there's a competition, it's like a beauty pageant, and the prince is a vampire, which you find out, and he wants to basically kind of marry a human to kind of bring everyone together. I know it sounds really corny in a way, but I promise you it was actually really entertaining, and especially if you like The Selection, I would really recommend this. They're all in Kindle Unlimited, and I had a really fun time reading them. I wanted something kind of like different and very like fun and kind of paranormal. It was really great. The characters were really well developed, and it was just a really fun story to read. So definitely check that out. They're called The Vampire Royals, and it's by Lee Walker. Hey guys, those are all the books I read for the first half of July. Let me know what you guys are reading. Have you read any of these? Are they good? Are they bad in your opinion? Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.